Y'all. So I wanted to chime in and kind of talk to my fellow Democrats here. Am I missing something? Is my recollection of history completely changed? Did Donald Trump's racism and his racist rhetoric prevent him from being elected in 2016? Has that racism stopped the support from his MAGA base in the 8 years since, or the 9 years really since? How about people undecideds considering whether to lean to him or not? Has racism made them say, oh, no, never for him? Because I'm not aware that that's the case. The reason I'm bringing this up is because for the last 3 weeks, all I've heard Democrats do is talk Donald Trump talking points. All we've heard about are migrants, pet eating. First there was Springfield, now he's moving to a town in Pennsylvania and talking about all across the country. And just like little helpful soldiers, Democrats have lined up right in line to continue to talk about the things that he wants us to talk about. As a result, he's been moving up in the polls, we've been moving down in the polls. You know what was working for Democrats? Talking about Donald Trump's policy positions as detailed in Project 2025. And I haven't heard anything about that in 3 weeks. Not a single peep. Nobody's talking about that anymore. All Democrats want to talk about are eating pets in Springfield and the poor Haitians. And look, don't get me wrong. That is vile and reprehensible and needs to be condemned. But you've already condemned it. Move it the fuck on. Because you want to know what? None of that racism has been a non-starter for any of his supporters. None of that racism is a non-starter for the people that are still considering maybe voting him. If you're undecided, you don't care that he's racist, because otherwise you'd be decided. These things have not been a disqualifier. They are not winning topics. If that's all you're talking about, you are gifting the presidency to Donald Trump again. Shut the hell up about it. Condemn it and move on and get back to a disciplined, back to a disciplined message about Project 2025, and then start pointing out all the things that he has publicly acknowledged he's for or represents that are consistent with Project 2025, such as wanting to jail anyone who criticizes the Supreme Court. Bye-bye freedom of speech. Wanting to jail journalists and reporters if they're critical of him. Bye-bye First Amendment. Talk about those things. Talk about the loss of our freedoms and Project 2025 and what that means. Stop talking about racist stuff when they don't care that he's a racist. They don't care that Donald Trump is a white supremacist. And yet all you're doing is helping him get reelected. And quite frankly, it's really starting to piss me off. It's like, why win when we can lose harping on the things Donald Trump wants to talk about? Is that what you're going for? Are you secretly in for Donald Trump? I don't really believe that. So why don't you start acting like it? And start talking about the things that actually are going to move the needle. Please. It's not rocket science here. For crying out loud.